Alright, let's talk about Tiana's Pass, which is the new mission. I'm not. Initially, I'm not gonna talk about the farm and how this whole model that they're doing that started with Varuna to have like. Varuna had two missions, one conjunction survival, which was easier, and then the other was harder. There was the circulus, and the other one was the easiest one. If I'm not wrong. For this frame, this small update, we have only the Tiana's Pass, and it's a steel path version. So, as a mission itself, I am glad that they finally touched the movement aspect that I've been talking about for some time. That we have a bunch of movement in the game, but we don't really use it for. We don't have a really a purpose for use it. This mission having to collect the crystals, I think that is a good design. I think it's a good. They're making use of stuff they have, that space in the game. Every Warframe can do. You don't need anything special to do. Of course, there is the meta. There is Titanius flying around, which is going to be the easiest way to do it. But I think that is at least they're trying to use one of the core aspects of the game. Now, if that is successful or not, if people like that or not, I'm not sure. I think that's interesting. I need to know what you guys think in the comments. So, let's go for what else. The mission itself, the way to farm this. I mean, like here, talking about, first stop talking about the whole thing in with movement. If you get your movement correct, you're gonna get like just. I'm just not getting it right now, but if you get it everything correct here, you're gonna be getting like a bunch of crystals with a few jumps, you know. So that is interesting. That is rewarding to get the movement right. But yeah, might not be for everyone, you know. Well, might not be the most fun thing for everyone. But you can divide the work stream. Talking about the gameplay and how it goes. You can divide the gameplay however, like how you want. One or two people, players can farm for the crystals, go flying around with Titania and just getting the crystals, and the others can just defend the crystals, put some CC down, you know, all that stuff, kill the Eximus. Nothing hard, nothing too worky, but the grind itself, it's not good. If I'm not wrong, on the conjunction survival, getting a cat buff will increase the amount of Luatrax plasma you get. If I'm not wrong, only if they changed it, then it's gone. But if I'm not wrong, it was effective, and I think that was okay. The conjunction survival is boring for me. It's much worse than this, but I'm close to farming for the second full arcane, that being 21 of the same arcane, and I'm already having a bad time. I'm not sure if I'm, of course, the one arcane I've already have it on my mind that I'm not getting. I'll not spend another 3 hours or so in this mission just to get the one of the arcanes that I really care about. So I'm just not willing to do that. But I think not having the booster or the Medikavat buff to affect the drop of these crystals makes it much worse. Then you might think, they haven't done this to make people play more. This is the perfect blueprint to get people burnt out in the game. just perfect. Get them a mission where they get new rewards, but they have to grind their asses off. A mission that is tied to time, pretty much, because you have to wait for the defense, you have to wait for the timer, and these crystals that you collect to get 7 of each every time, they have a set spawn, so you cannot speed it, you cannot get it more, as far as I know. So not really good. If it would increase the amount of crystals you would get for staying more in the mission, then could be another thing to work. But it's so far, I've done this for almost the mission, spent on the mission almost like what, almost 6 hours, or maybe more than 6 hours, and I've got 1 Citrine blueprint. For the Staphylos, I'm only missing 1 part. For the Chlorophyll, I have 2 parts, the blueprint and the barrel, and that's it. And I still want to get 3 arcanes, the scene, and the press. And let's hope I get another Citrine, 1 for the helmet and 1 for me. So if I don't, it's gonna be kind of crazy. I've already done a very stupid and basic math that would, I think this would be around at least 10 hours of playing in this single mission, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, we've been here for a few minutes now, like 14 minutes. We're not even on, we're on round 3, I think. Yeah, probably. And it takes a long time. The problem is, for me, the biggest issue is that you cannot modify the amount of crystals you get. For me, that's the big issue. Because the mission isn't that bad, but it gets boring the more you have to spend in here. It gets crazy. Not sure how grindy it is compared to Conjunction Survival. I haven't done any math or any comparison so far, but yeah, it's been a challenge. I recorded the first part of this video the week the update was released. Was last week, probably around Friday. It is Monday now that I'm recording the second part, and to be honest, I think that's why I even made the poll asking you guys about the worst grind in Warframe. And because for me, this farm right now, the mirror defense farm, grinding for Citrine is the worst grind in the game. Even the stupid Conjunction Survival, you could use the cat and stuff to increase your drops, your stuff, but here, no, you're effed. The mission, the more you play, the more awful it gets, the more boring it gets. If I were to farm all of the arcanes, everything here, I would just quit the game. I would be done with it and quit the game for good. I would be so burned out, I wouldn't even consider logging into the game. Don't get me wrong, I've already got burned out in this game before. The first time was farming the Imperator Vandal, which was one of the worst things. We got burned out from this game in a group. It was so bad that time. So I farmed enough. I've already maxed secondary encumber. I farmed enough crystals to max 2 more arcanes. But primary play around sucks. Just look at the wiki. Take your own conclusions. For me, it just sucks. I don't see a case where I would use this instead of any other primary arcane. I can't see a scenario, really. Double back, 4 seconds. When is this arcane gonna be useful? When you're running away? Maybe? You want like 75% damage reduction when you're running away, or you have to remember to make a maneuver every 4 seconds? Okay. Kinship is additive critical chance, so it sucks. Steadfast is the only other arcane which I'm interested. Even then, 20% chance is kind. You're gonna use this on what? Extremely caster frames, maybe mag, maybe a build to use thermal thunder to level, maybe a build to use neutral star. You know, it's kind of hard to think where this would fit. Like extremely caster frames, of course, but even then, it's kind of hard to find a place to fit this. Let's just rely on 20% chance for getting free casts. Is, yeah, seems a bit weird. Parts. I bought the Chorophel receiver from a player, and I also bought the Stephel's barrel from a player. I could not drop a single barrel, not a single receiver. Got one handle, one stock, 5 receivers, 4 barrels, bunch of blueprints, maximum 2 Citrine blueprints, not a single Citrine part, not a single one. I dropped 2 encumbers, 1 double back, 1 plated around, 1 steadfast, 2 kinship. Still, I would like to buy this, but just stop and thinking about this. This is unskippable. 3 hours? No, not 3 hours, I'm sorry. 2 hours, maybe? I think it is 2 hours and something. It's just a boring and unskippable farm. You can buy the almost everything, but it is terrible. Wow, I didn't thought they would make such a terrible grind and farm in this game. Like after all these years, you would think they would learn. God damn it. The amount of time you have to put into actually farm these, it's unbelievable. Like, if I knew this was gonna be like this, I would have bought everything from the market probably. Not even kidding, it's just, it's so time consuming and boring. It is crazy. You would expect new content to be having fun and farming. Arcanes are mostly trash. People are talking bad about the new Warframe, so I don't even know. To be honest, I think I should have just bought this collection and not have wasted all the crystals that I had. Of course, I would still have to farm a second Citrine. But, oh my god, I am kind of burnt out from this already, you know. I'm not completely, but this feels bad. This farm is terrible. And I swear to god, if they've only made it to be, the crystals to be affected by boosters and the cats, this would be no problem. Would be a farm, you would farm and okay, but first, I don't even want to play those missions at the mirror defense anymore. Second, after I get the things I want, I am never touching mirror defense again unless there is a amazing a Fisher, who knows, even arbitrations. I got a bug in arbitration. I'm gonna be posting that video today too. That was, yeah, interesting. I literally just wanted to get over with this farm like as soon as possible, but there is no freaking way this thing is even worth. For me, of course, I would rather just farm plat. Just start opening relics and farming plat than to freaking doing this farm. It's too bad. I never played something so boring that got me so sleepy in this game. That's why I couldn't even like finish the farm the first day. I know it takes multiple hours, but if it was something funny to do or interesting to do, it would be no problem. But it's grinding, boring, and gets you tired. Really? What?